Hi, and welcome to Fay at Five. I'm LaTangela Fay, your hostess, and today it does my heart well to have those in the hot seat and on the tan line that's doing some wonderful things in the community and making the world we live in a better place. Now, we have Mr. A.D. Dolphin. I like to call him that guy. He gets it done. He gets everybody up, amped, and ready, but he also creates resources in order to keep us going. How are you?
Everything's beautiful, and thanks for having me.
Anytime. This is an open door policy. So think of this as an extension of your office.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Now, what part of the world are you chiming in from today?
I am in Los Angeles, California.
Okay, California. Hey, well, from one LA to the next, because we are here in the boot in the real LA, Louisiana. So we're getting everything going, and it's an honor to have you on the tan line because you've been busy for some years, getting everything done with DHerbs as the CEO. I've got questions that need answers.
Oh, I'm ready for them. Bring them on.
Usually we always talk about getting our lives together first of the year. First of the
Right.
year, but here it is. We're dwindling, trying to walk this year down. How is it that you found the inspiration to say, not only do I want to enhance my life, but want to come up with something that's going to help others do the same along the way?
Wow. Just like all the journeys, and I'm sure your journey too, it didn't start off like that. It just started off me trying to build a company and, trying to support my family. And it was something that actually changed my life. It just became really different when you start giving your products to your mother, to your grandmother, to your family. And then you start getting all these reviews like, oh, you know what? I'm no longer drinking. I became a vegan. I'm not on high blood pressure medication anymore. So it just began to change people's life. And I just realized my journey was much bigger than running a business.
Right. When you put it in perspective like that, it's almost like you're giving people the end game. If they want to get off the medication, here's the goal. So now we have to go over all little steps in order to get there. Usually, whenever we come up with these, I want to make a change.
Right.
Okay, well, why are you making that change? And, what's going to keep you going with that change? But you said you started off with your family. Sometimes those are your hardest clients because, if I decide to mess up my recipes in the words of my aunts, because that's what she would call it, doing my favorite recipes in a healthier way, well, we can still have what we like, but we're going to do things a little differently. She'll be the first to say this different. And she won't say if it's a good different, if it's bad different, but she will let me know it's different. But introducing that into our culture, into our lives, into our families, sometimes that can be the hardest challenge because we're so used to doing things a different way.
But it's time to be different. 42% of African Americans have high blood pressure. And we're the leading candidate in that area, and that's not a great area to be leading. 38% of us have diabetes 2, which is definitely preventable. So we're literally eating our way into sickness, and we have to make a change. We have to switch it up. You know what I mean? It was so funny because not too long ago, I was talking to one of my friends, Ricky Davis, former NBA player, and I asked him, why did he become a vegan? He said, I wanted to change the narrative within my family. And I said, give me a little bit more. So he went on to say his great grandparents had high blood pressure and diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
His current parents have high blood pressure and diabetes.
Right.
He was like, and these things are totally preventable. We're literally eating our way into those situations. And he said, look, I just wanted something different from my current family. And so therefore he did something different. So he changed his diet, became a vegan, and now he's starting a whole new path for the history of his family.
That's amazing, and especially if you have those impressionable minds in the household, like these kids, families, they'll just do anything to keep them quiet, whether it's throwing them an iPad or some snacks that's not good for
Right.
them, and, just letting them raise themselves in an unhealthy manner. But when you start talking about making these changes, the consistency, it's not easy to keep it going, especially when, here the food is just a part of the culture. It's just the way it is, right? If you're happy, you're eating. If you're sad, you're eating. If it's a promotion, you're eating. If you get fired, you're eating. But the decisions that we're making about the menu is where we start seeing all of our health elements come in. And when you mention the high blood pressure, when you start talking about the cancers, when you start talking about the blood diseases, that's bringing it down into our family history. And we can begin to examine self At what portion do you say that we need to seek guidance from a health or a wellness expert such as yourself to see our starting point?
I think it starts early, but you can start. That's the one thing that God kind of made our bodies. You can heal from any situation.
Yeah.
It starts with you and now. So it doesn't matter if you're young or old. It's put yourself on a better path, because ultimately you're going to be better by doing such a thing. So it's just important to start. I think it's, and you talked about the food and this and that, because we're used to it. But imagine if you were a vegan your whole entire life.
Right.
Imagine if you didn't eat certain things your whole entire life. Your body wouldn't crave those things. You wouldn't even understand those things, and that wouldn't be part of your diet. So therefore, that's what's so amazing about what Ricky was doing with his family, is because now his kids aren't going to have that same path that he had, where he had to make a decision to change. They're already in a good situation.
Yeah. And think about it, we've been programmed to just pull up and get that 99-cent burger with the fries and the big 40-ounce soda. And, it's okay because that's just going to keep the whole family going for $10. Meanwhile, if you want to get you a salad, it's almost like, oh, well, what do I do? What do I do? It's the sacrifice and it's the things that we have in mind for our goals. And coming up, I want to give the inside scoop on DHerbs, because I know that you have some amazing products that you've been working on for years, some stuff that's going to get us on the right track. See, I'm going to do better with my life. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I got this thing. Did you get your steps in today? Mental, physical, spiritual, because it's all important, right? So if we begin to eliminate these excuses and we start replacing the things that we have in hand right now for what we need in hand, we'll be all right. So now that I got the mastermind on the hotline, I got some real questions and need some answers. Can I get you to stick around a second?
Absolutely.
Good. Well, you keep it locked right where you have it. It's Fay at 5. Hi, and welcome back to Fay at 5. I'm LaTangela Fay, your hostess, and today in the hot seat and on the tan line, we have none other than the CEO, the mastermind himself behind DHerbs, none other than AD Dolphin. You doing all right over there?
Loving life.
Good. I've been considering doing a cleanse. So, I've been on Google, I've been asking Siri, and I feel like they'll give me some answers, but not the right answers. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the right way. Let me get AD on the line. What would AD do? Okay. So let me tell you, last year I had a medical scare, and I'll use that as, that's what it was. Transparency, right? During the pandemic, I said I was going to work on 2 things: my waistline and my credit. And this was the most time I've ever spent with myself, because I wasn't busy working. I'm at home. So now I can prioritize and do the things and eliminate all the excuses, right? So absolutely. My debit card was happy because it's not saying, girl, you had another drive-through, girl, you ordering out again. So, all right, hadn't been to a drive-through. I'm cooking myself. I know what's going in the menu. I'm doing better. I'm working out every day in the garage, right? Punching bag. I'm on a step. I'm doing yoga. I think I'm on my game.
Right.
Credit score started going up, so I was already at that too. But my waist started growing, and then I had this bulge above my belly button, and I wasn't in a rush to go to the doctor because I wasn't hurting. I didn't have any major alarms that would send me, but I'm gaining weight. What's the problem? But being in tune with my body, I understand that something's different. By the time I get there, the doctor sends me down and he says, well, you have a fibroid, something that we deal with, especially with African-American women. By the time he took it out, AD, it was 16.2 pounds, right? The size of healthy triplets.
I mean, your fibroid was 16.2 pounds?
The doctor said it was one of the largest he had ever removed.
I've never even heard of a fibroid being. I've seen some big ones. 16.2 pounds.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me? And the healing process, it was nothing of the horror stories that I'd heard. And I understand that everybody's journey with that will be different, right? All is well. It's been like the biggest level of encouragement to do better, to wanting to be in tune more so with my body now, to know what I'm putting in for the results that I'm going to get out. And I'm considering doing a cleanse that would be good for overall health. It's time to hit a reset button. Where is my reset?
So the reset I would always offer you is the DHerbs Full Body Cleanse. And let me give you a little information about it. So what that's going to do is, since you talked about fibroids, so a fibroid is basically when your body can't eliminate certain debris. What it does, it creates a fibroid, so there to protect you from what's inside. The debris is on the inside, and your body, for whatever reason, it can't eliminate it. So that means your eliminative channels have broken down. That's why this cleanse is going to be great for you. So I would say do the DHerbs full body cleanse. It's going to clean out all your major eliminative channels. That's your gallbladder, your heart, your liver, your colon, your spleen, your lungs, your kidneys, your adrenal glands, your blood, and your skin. It's going to flush out all the impurities in those particular areas of your body so your body can perform as it should. Now, this is the trick. I always tell people that you can't eat the same foods that gave you the notion to cleanse during your cleanse. So therefore, you got to make a dietary change.
Okay.
The change that we tell everyone to make is you have to go on a raw food diet. That means you're going to eat fresh fruits, vegetables, raw nuts, and raw seeds throughout your 20-day cleanse. So there's no calorie counting. It's not like you're eating one banana a day or drinking some weird concoction. You're going to eat whatever, as long as it's fresh fruits and vegetables, raw nuts, and raw seeds throughout your cleanse, you're good. So you can have smoothies, salads, and you can eat as much of it as you like. On our website, we have thousands of raw food meals and instructions on how to prepare them, everything, all kind of recipes out of this world. So I always tell people, especially when it comes to that, find the things that you like within that recipe, and you're probably going to enjoy it. Though that's what I would definitely tell you to do. But we also have a fibroid cleanse too. But I would suggest you do that afterwards. It's not called the fibroid cleanse. It's called the uterus cleanse.
Okay, good. And for more information on all of your products, because I understand that this is good for women and men, and especially when it's time for them to say, I want to be in tune with my health and I want to hit that reset button. I don't want to wait until January 1st and then say, I'm going to try, give it up fried food. And then by the next picnic, we right back at it,
Right.
So how can we find you and get more information on that?
Oh, you can find us at dherbs.com, DHerbs.com. If they want to give us a call, it's 866-434-3727. And also any social media platform out there, you can find DHerbs, and that's DHerbs.
That's good. So, I guess it's impossible to ask the man who does it all what's next, but I'm going to ask, what's next? What are you working on now?
Man, we're working on so many wonderful things. So we have a athletic line coming out. It's called Deactive, and it's all just it's all behind us just moving more as a community. Yeah. So we're doing all kinds of things like that. So sometimes we'll rent out certain gyms and allow everyone to come for free. If I'm in that particular town, we'll do the same thing. So I don't know. Do you guys have like Soul Cycle and stuff like that in your town?
We don't, but we need one.
Yeah, so places like you've heard of Soul Cycle?
I have.
Yeah, so if I go to a certain area, let's say if I go to New York, I might rent out the whole entire Soul Cycle, invite the whole DHerbs following to come for free. Whoever signs up, like the first 50, 60 people, they all get to come for free. And I do that as I travel the country. And it's just a little movement that we're just trying to get more people into it and things like that, just to move a little bit more. We need that as a community.
You say it's a little movement, ain't nothing little about nothing you're doing. You hear me? You're showing up, you're showing out every chance you get, and you are doing it with style, and we appreciate you so much. It has been your dedication and your consistency, and representation is important. So we need to normalize this conversation, especially with people,
sure.
Especially men, because they are the leaders. And they need to know that you have to self-improve before you help improve, and to be responsible with these platforms, because God is going to ask us, what did you do with what you had while I lent it to you? And you're doing an amazing job with your platform. You have inspired me. In 21 days, you can check in on me. I'm going to be much better. Do you hear me? I'm going to show up. Where is AD? Tell AD. I did it. So about 20 and a half, we're going to be all right. And this is an extension of your office. So anytime you need anything, just send a bird call, a smoke signal, and it's done.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for everything.
Man, thanks for having me. It's a blessing. I appreciate you loaning out your world and allowing me to speak to them. So I appreciate you.
Good. And you stay safe. Mask up, telling people back up off you, and don't make eye contact.